So very good evening to each and every one of you. A very warm welcome to each and every one of you to this particular session of Equity Masterclass. Myself, Ayushman Datta from Motilal Oswal Financial Services, right? So the main agenda of this session, before starting with anything, it's very much important to understand the main agenda of this session. So the main agenda of this session is to basically to understand trading intraday swing Bank Nifty. So Bank Nifty being a very volatile kind of a trading aspects. So our research analyst, Mr. Arpit Beriwal, will be joining us, and he will actually guide us in this topic, which is called as trading intraday swing with Bank Nifty, which is also called as the queen of volatility. So within few minutes, Mr. Arpit Beriwal will start this session. So stay tuned with us.
So thank you, Ayushman. So right now, I'll just wait for a couple of more minutes, and then we can start in 5 minutes.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So Ayushman, I'll just start the session then.
Yeah, we can start.
Okay, so PPT is audible?
Yeah, everything is visible. Even your voice is visible. Your video is also visible.
Okay, great. Thank you. So very good evening, everyone, to all the participants who are taking out their time and attending this session. So the topic for today is trading intraday swing with Bank Nifty, queen of volatility. So the topic itself is the name itself shows that how much Bank Nifty as an instrument. It's one of the key instrument in Indian indices, and it's one of the highly tradable instrument across the derivative segment. And it's known for its volatility. Volatility means the wild swings that happens on daily basis or intraday basis or on weekly basis. So starting with, we'll be discussing about few things. So that is just the flow of the session. What all things we'll be discussing about. First, the Bank Nifty and its components, which are its heavyweights and what does it comprises of, followed by index and the banking stock setup. So as Bank Nifty, the name itself, that means it comprises of banking stocks. So currently Bank Nifty is the composition of all the banking stocks, mix of private and PSUs. Private banks hold the majority of the weightage. So we'll be discussing about what is the setup, what is the banking stocks outlook. Then we'll be knowing what is the expected range. So what will be the expected range for the Bank Nifty? As we need to trade, whether it's intraday or the swing trading. So it's very important to know the technical setup for Bank Nifty on the positive side or on the downside, followed by who is the option, when to be an option buyer and when to be option seller within the Bank Nifty. Then the next topic will be derivative indicators. There are few things that we look for along with technical setup that is very crucial. And the next part, last part is a checklist and few money management principles in the market. As it said that what is important is risk is in your hand and reward is what the market gives you. So starting with the first thing is the Bank Nifty. So this is the chart breakup of the Bank Nifty constituents. If you see, majority 4 to 5 banks, that is HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, Axis, Kotak, and SBI comprises of around 80% of the total Bank Nifty weightage. So in a nutshell, if you talk about Bank Nifty is around 37,500, out of that 80 to 85% composition, the weightage. So if there is a movement within these 5 banks, it will definitely impact on the Bank Nifty on the positive side or on the negative side. So we'll be focusing upon the 5 major banks. Along with that, there are other banks also within the banking space, IndusInd Bank, Bandhan Bank, Federal Bank, AU Small Finance. So this is a composition of Bank Nifty. Now, this slide basically shows that volatility. So it said that if volatility used in the right way, it is a mass opportunity instrument, whereas volatility taken in the wrong way, definitely it will deteriorate your reward ratio. So it's very important how to play this volatility in the right way by understanding the few key things. So it said that it's very difficult or it's very volatile or wild swings we cannot trade. But it's always said that if you know the instrument or you know the art of playing something and you understand it, how to deal with it. So definitely that will help you to get a better return reward ratio within the instrument. So now talking about the first aspect, that is the daily chart of the Bank Nifty. So this is the pure technical analysis part in which this shows our Bank Nifty daily chart. Now, if you talk about this is the daily chart of Bank Nifty. So from past few days to few weeks, the onset of 2022 was on a very strong note. Bank Nifty rally from 34,000 to 38,000 in just matter of 10 to 12 days. However, last week has been a quite volatile on the downside due to weak economic global clues or the US yields spike or crude oil. So all these factors have made indices very volatile on both the bases. So if you see the past few trends, if you talk about the green candle, the green arrow, it was moving continuously up for consecutive 10 to 11 days. However, from past 6 to 7 days, if you see, the market is, the Bank Nifty is continuously falling. So it made a top around 38,800 zones. And then from past 6 to 7 days, it is continuously falling on the downside. However, if you see, the selling pressure is reduced, but it is still falling on the downside. Now it is trading near 50 demo. So in terms of technical price setup wise, if you see on the daily basis front, the immediate support comes to be 37,250 on Friday also, that is yesterday. It was quite a volatile session. Bank Nifty moved up, it moved down to 37,300, then again inch higher to 37,700. Again, it made low to 250. So it has been oscillating in a wider range. So immediate basis, the support comes out to be 37,250. Well, the major support is 37,000. Whereas on the upside, 38,000 and then 38,500 are the major resistance zones. Now we have got the support and resistance zone, but how do we dwell with this and what is the interpretation of this and how to trade with this? This is our main forte for this session. So continuing with this, first we'll look at the banking stocks. As we said about that Bank Nifty's composition of 5 heavyweights. So we'll be discussing the banking stock structure. On the left hand side is the HDFC Bank that holds the highest weightage in the Bank Nifty, followed by ICICI Bank, and then Axis Bank, Kotak, and SBI. So if you look at the price structure of HDFC Bank and ICICI Bank, overall HDFC Bank has been quite underperformer from past 1 year. If you see on a relative basis, right now the stock is around 1,500, and if you see the daily chart, the stock made a strong up move in the first half of the January series, and from 1,550 levels, it is falling slowly, gradually. However, on Friday session, it made a strong bullish candle. So till now, the setup is still negative, but at lower levels, some buying is emerging. Likewise, if you see the structure of ICICI Bank, it is trading at its all-time high, just few percentage lower from its all-time high. And overall, the chart setup, if you see, so it is forming a doji candle on daily scale. So the selling pressure is intensifying, is reducing slowly and gradually, but still it is forming lower highs, lower lows. So if you see on the chart setup wise, around 800 levels a major support zone for ICICI Bank, whereas on the upside 820, 830 is the crucial resistance zone. But if you see overall chart setup wise, ICICI Bank, the result is also due on today, and it has come out with this result. So Monday it would be a clear this thing, gap up opening, gap down opening, depending on the how the market take the result of the ICICI Bank. Now coming on to the third thing is Bank Nifty. That is the third setup is Axis Bank. So if you see the structure of Axis Bank is also similar structure in forming higher highs, higher lows. It has got us stuck in a range between 690 to 740 zones. So if you see the structure wise, it has good up move in the first half of the January series, but then again there was a pause from past 4 to 5 session. It has got stuck in a range. The fourth counter is Kotak. So along with HDFC Bank, Kotak Bank is also have been a quite what do you say in a underperforming. So as a few of the clients are requesting to speak in Hindi also, we can definitely have a mix of it. So अगर आप देखा जाए, so कोटक महिंद्रा बैंक का स्ट्रक्चर चार्ट स्ट्रक्चर है, देखा जाए तो ओवरऑल बिगर ट्रेंड इज नेगेटिव, बट डेली फ्रेम पे पिछले 5 से 6 दिन से वो लगातार गिर रहा था और डेली फ्रेम पे उसने बुलिश कैंडल बनाया. सो दिस शोज दैट द बिगर ट्रेंड इज नेगेटिव, बट एट लोअर टाइम फ्रेम पे उसने बुलिश कैंडल बनाया. दिस इंडिकेट्स दैट बाइंग इज एट लोअर लेवल. हाउएवर अपसाइड में भी 1920 के वहां पे हर्डल है. This was the fourth major heavyweight component. And the last is SBI. So SBI, if you talk about, SBI has been managing to hold up a 500 zone. So अगर आप देखोगे पहले 6 से 7 दिन में SBI between 495 to 520 की जोन में ट्रेड कर रहा है पिछले 6 से 7 दिन में. उसके पहले जनवरी सीरीज में शार्प अपमूव आया था फ्रॉम 450 460 टू 500 जोन, एंड पिछले 6 से 7 दिन से एक रेंज में फंसा हुआ है. So looking at the oral chart setup wise, among all the banking stocks, HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, Axis Bank, Kotak Bank, SBI, so the structure is mixed to negative setup. So there is no clear clue as of now. It is got stuck in a range. Upside, definitely upside hurdle है Bank Nifty में 38,000 का, 38,250 का. So that is a crucial point for that. Now coming to the next aspect. So if you see the thumb rules for Bank Nifty. So if you talk about the first thing, जो view. So it's very important कि हमें समझना है कि view क्या है मार्केट का, चाहे वो तेजी है, चाहे मंदी है, चाहे रेंज बाउंड है, चाहे वोलेटाइल है. Depending on the market setup, we'll try to play the positive move or the downside move. So अगर पिछले एक हफ्ते में देखोगे लगातार चार्ट स्ट्रक्चर वाइज डेली फ्रेम पे बैंक निफ्टी पिछले 6 दिन से लगातार लोअर हाई लो लोज बना रहा है. सो अगर आप देखा जाए तो ओवरऑल चार्ट सेटअप इमीडिएट बेसिस पे नेगेटिव बायस है, बट मीडियम टर्म ट्रेंड अगर देखा जाए तो पॉजिटिव है जब तक वो 37,000 के ऊपर है. So now talking about the thing is कैसे हमें व्यू समझना है और क्या क्या चीजें हमें देखनी है उसके लिए. So what is important is first is the technical levels. So technical levels में क्या होता है, पहले हमें देखना है कि बैंक निफ्टी का टेक्निकल लेवल्स क्या है. So अगर आप ये चार्ट देखें, फर्स्ट ये है लेफ्ट साइड पे वीकली सेटअप है बैंक निफ्टी का, उसके बाजू में डेली सेटअप है, देन 60 आर्ली सेटअप 60 मिनट्स दैट इज आर्ली सेटअप है, एंड देन फॉलोड बाय 30 मिनट सेटअप. सो ऑल इन ऑल हमें जब भी इंट्राडे स्विंग ट्रेडिंग समझनी है, करनी है, सो हमें मल्टीपल टाइम फ्रेम्स देखना है. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि आप देखते हो कि बड़े टाइम फ्रेम में पहले सेटअप कैसा है, वीकली फॉलोड बाय डेली, उसके बाद आर्ली एंड देन 30 मिनट्स. सो अगर वीकली सेटअप आप देखा जाए एक्सट्रीम लेफ्ट पे, तो उसमें बेरिश कैंडल बना है वीकली फ्रेम पे. डेली स्केल पे अगर आप देखा जाए तो कंटिन्यूसली पिछले 6 से 7 दिन से लोअर हाई लोअर लोज बना रहा है. हाउएवर अभी 50 डेमा दैट इज 50 डेमा जो ब्लैक लाइन है वहां पे 50 डेमा पे बैंक निफ्टी ने होल्ड लिया है, दैट इज 37,250 जोन्स. इफ यू सी द आर्ली चार्ट, वहां पे भी ट्रेंड सिमिलर है, लोअर लोज लोअर हाइज लोअर लोज बन रहा है, जो नेगेटिव बायस इंडिकेट करता है, एंड 30 मिनट्स में भी सिमिलर है। बट ये हम ईच टाइम फ्रेम जो है हमें डिटेल में समझना पड़ेगा कि हाउ टू लुक एट द बिगर ट्रेंड, बड़ा ट्रेंड देख के छोटे ट्रेंड में हमें सेटअप देखना है और उसी हिसाब से हमें पॉजिटिव प्ले करना है या नेगेटिव प्ले करना है। सो फर्स्ट इज डेली टाइम, वीकली टाइम फ्रेम। अगर आप वीकली टाइम फ्रेम का स्ट्रक्चर देखें, सो 3 बुलिश कैंडल थी पिछले 3 हफ्ते में और लास्ट हफ्ते में बैंक निफ्टी ऊपर से करेक्ट हुआ है, सो बेरिश कैंडल बनी है। सो दिस इंडिकेट्स कि अपसाइड में 38,800 हर्डल है, बट ऑन द डाउन साइड 37,000 इज अ मेजर सपोर्ट जोन। तो जब तक 37,000 के ऊपर है तब तक बहुत नेगेटिव बायस नहीं है, बट अपसाइड में 38,500 39,000 में बैंक निफ्टी में मेजर रेजिस्टेंस है। Now coming on to the next time frame, that is the daily time frame. So daily time frame अगर आप देखिए, so 34,000 से अच्छा मूव आया था towards 38,800 39,000। वहां से अराउंड पिछले एक हफ्ते में 6 से 7 दिन में बैंक निफ्टी कंटिन्यूसली नीचे गिर रहा है, 39,000 से अभी करेक्ट होकर 37,500 के आ गया। सो ओवरऑल अगर आप चार्ट सेटअप देखा जाए तो बड़ा ट्रेंड पॉजिटिव था, बट पिछले 6 से 7 दिन से नेगेटिव है। So it is forming lower highs, lower lows. Green line अगर आप जो चार्ट पे देख रहे हैं, that indicates the support zone, that is 37,250, whereas the blue line, जो blue line चार्ट पे इंडिकेट किया है, that shows the resistance line. So that blue is the resistance zone, 38,800 to 39,000 is the major resistance zone. So there are a lot of people also asking questions. So definitely what we'll do is questions will take at the later part of the session as we are dealing with it. So all the queries will be solved. Now coming on to the next time frame, that is 60 minutes. So if you see the early setup, so the early setup clearly indicates कि बैंक निफ्टी is forming lower highs, lower lows. अगर आप देखोगे जो ब्लू लाइन है, मल्टीपल ब्लू लाइंस ऑन द चार्ट, इफ यू सी 38,250 पे रेजिस्टेंस है, उसके बाद 37,750 पे। फ्राइडे भी अगर आप देखें क्लोजली, फ्राइडे वोलेटाइल सेशन था, रेंज बड़ी थी 600 पॉइंट की, नीचे 37,200 पे सपोर्ट था, अपसाइड में 37,700। अगर आप ये देखोगे पिछले आर्ली चार्ट में बार बार 37,750 पे सेलिंग प्रेशर आ रहा है, बट ऑन द डाउन साइड सिमिलरली 37,250 जोन्स पे बाइंग आ रहा है। सो इसका इंडिकेट क्या हुआ, अगर किसी को ट्रेड करना है, कीपिंग दिस थिंग इन माइंड, इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि आप बैंक निफ्टी के रेंज समझिए कि अपसाइड रेजिस्टेंस कौन सा है और डाउन साइड सपोर्ट कौन सा है। अगर बैंक निफ्टी 37,750 के आसपास ट्रेड कर रहा है तो वहां पे शॉर्ट कर सकते हैं विद कीपिंग अ स्टॉप लॉस ऑफ 100 पॉइंट्स अबव। बट यही अगर बैंक निफ्टी अगर 37,250 और 300 जोन्स के वहां पे है, तो इट्स इंपॉर्टेंट, जब हमें पता है कि वो सपोर्ट जोन है, तो वहां पे अगर किसी ने शॉर्ट किया है तो वहां पे अपने शॉर्ट्स कवर करे। एट द सेम टाइम अगर किसी को लग रहा है वहां से बाउंस आ सकता है 200-300 पॉइंट का, तो वहां पे वो लॉन्ग कर सकते हैं, डे का स्टॉप लॉस रखते हैं। सो द रेजिस्टेंस एंड सपोर्ट हेल्प्स यू टू अंडरस्टैंड कि कब हमें सेल करना, कब हमें बाय करना है। कभी कभी मार्केट जब बहुत वॉलेटाइल रहता है तब इशू भी डेफिनेटली होता है कि हम कैसे ट्रेड करें। सो इट्स इंपॉर्टेंट कि आप रेंज, बड़ी रेंज रखिए जिसकी वजह से आपको हेल्प रहेगी, एंड अकॉर्डिंगली दैट विल हेल्प यू टू डिसाइड। सो जैसे हमने अभी डिस्कस किया अबाउट 60 मिनट्स, दैट इज आर्ली चार्ट. Now I'll be discussing about the 30 minutes chart. So if you see in 30 minutes charts, there are multiple candles, right from 38,800 to 37,500. And if you see the shorter time frame chart, the blue line same indicates hurdle at 38,250 followed by 37,750. While on the downside, support is at 37,250. So if you see on the major thing, 37,250 is a major support zone for Bank Nifty on immediate basis, whereas 37,750 is a major resistance zone. So for example, Bank Nifty closed around at 37,500 levels on Friday session. Now on Monday, suppose if it trades about 37,750, so one can go long with keeping stop loss at 37,500, upside में 38,000, 38,250. But at the same time, it's important कि 38,250 पे वो पोजीशन अपनी स्क्वायर ऑफ भी करे, बिकॉज वो मेजर रेजिस्टेंस जोन है। Whereas अगर मंडे को सपोज गैप डाउन होता है एंड अगर बैंक निफ्टी 37,500 के नीचे ट्रेड कर रहा है, सो वन कैन गो शॉर्ट विथ व्यू दैट कि नीचे 37,250 मेजर सपोर्ट जोन है, तो वहां तक बैंक निफ्टी करेक्ट हो सकता है। नाउ अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, आफ्टर दिस, इफ यू सी, वी हैव डिस्कस्ड वीकली चार्ट, वी हैव डिस्कस्ड weekly chart, daily setup, hourly chart and 30 minutes. So we can also take 15 minutes time frame, but it depends कि आपका swing trade कितनी देर का है. So what is your view? But generally we use hourly chart, daily chart, hourly chart, 30 minutes and 15 minutes to time the intraday swings. Now this we have discussed about the multiple time frame analysis. But what majority of the people also misses is it's important that along with that we also track the price action of all the banking stocks, the heavyweights, along with the call and puts for banking. So for example, if you see Bank Nifty and heavyweights tracking, whenever we think to execute any Bank Nifty trade or the futures or options trade, we have a list of all the heavyweights on our terminal: HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, SBI, Kotak, Axis, and the call and put strikes for respective. So this will help us to understand whether HDFC Bank is supporting the Bank Nifty positive move or the downside move, or whether the ICICI Bank is holding, or whether SBI is holding or not, or likewise Kotak. So when these 5 players or the 5 components dominate on the upside, on the downside, that will help you to understand whether the Bank Nifty is likely to move on the upside or likely to move on the downside. काफी बार ये भी होता है कि काफी दिन मार्केट एक रेंज में है. सो एचडीएफसी बैंक एक रेंज में ट्रेड कर रहा है 1520 से लेके 1550, आईसीआईसीआई बैंक 780 से लेके 800 की रेंज में, एक्सिस बैंक 750 से लेके 730 में, या कोटक बैंक एक रेंज में. सो तब हमारा व्यू एकदम स्ट्रॉन्ग रहता है कि बैंक निफ्टी एक रेंज में रहेगा. बट अगर इफ यू सी स्टार्टिंग ऑफ द जनवरी सीरीज, सो देयर वाज अ स्ट्रॉन्ग अप मूव इन बैंकिंग काउंटर्स, और बैंक निफ्टी 34,000 से काफी स्ट्रॉन्ग अप मूव आया टुवर्ड्स 38,800 इन जस्ट मैटर ऑफ 10 days, बिकॉज आईसीआईसीआई बैंक, एचडीएफसी, कोटक, एसबीआई, एक्सिस all were good, strong bullish bias, and they were in strong momentum. Now continue with the next thing, that is the very important part of this session is option buyer versus option seller. So what happens is we have discussed about the Bank Nifty, how the Bank Nifty plays its role. But it's very important, when the market is momentum, you have to be option buyer, and when the market is stuck in a range, you have to be option seller. So option buyer and option seller is like, it's very important when to be an option buyer and when to be option seller. So this is the probability analysis, in which if you see option buyer, option seller, suppose in market, suppose Bank Nifty is trading at 37,000. Example, if suppose Bank Nifty closes the January expiry, that is 27th expiry, close at 37,000 itself. Case 1. So what is the probability? That 33% Bank Nifty will close at 37,000. Second case, either the Bank Nifty closes above 37,000, second case, or third case, the Bank Nifty closes below 37,000. So in first case, if it closes above 37,000, and suppose if you buy a call option of Bank Nifty with a view ki upar jayega, so in first case, the option buyer is making money. That is 33% probability. In second case, your view is that Bank Nifty will go up, but it expires at the same level at what you bought. 37,000, call option you bought at 200. So if it settles at 37,000 itself, the premium will erode, and it is loss for the option buyer, but is it gain for the option seller, as it's a gain. In third case, if you see, if Nifty expires below 37,000, so it is a loss for option buyer, but it is gain for option seller. So out of 3 cases, if you see, out of 3 cases, 2 cases, option seller is making money, whereas in 1 case, option buyer is making money. So as per the probability rule, option buyer has probability of 33%, whereas option seller has a probability of 66%. So it's always said that option buyer ko market mein rehna hai, but for limited amount of time, quick entry, quick exit. Option seller ka role is totally reverse. जितना ज्यादा टाइम मार्केट में रहेगा, प्रोबेबिलिटी वाइज, it is maximum possibility that he will earn more premium. Now coming on to the next part, if this is decided कि ठीक है मार्केट मोमेंटम है, ट्रेंडिंग है, और लग रहा है कि मार्केट में मूवमेंट रहेगा, इंपॉर्टेंट है कि हमें ऑप्शन स्ट्राइक कैसे चूज करने हैं. फर्स्ट, फॉर एग्जांपल, हाउ टू सिलेक्ट स्ट्राइक्स फॉर ऑप्शन बायर्स. Now if you see this first case, in this, how to select strikes for option buyers. Assume Bank Nifty is currently trading at 37,500 levels and premium is at 450. Now if you see over here the table, आप ये अगर देखे कि टेबल लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में टाइप ऑफ स्ट्राइक है, उसके बाजू में स्ट्राइक का कॉलम है, देन द प्रीमियम कि हर बैंक निफ्टी के स्ट्राइक में प्रीमियम कितना एसोसिएट है, उसके बाद है डेल्टा. तो डेल्टा इज नथिंग बट द चेंज एंड द लास्ट पार्ट इज द इंटरप्रिटेशन. So if you see over here, starting with first, Bank Nifty is at 37,500. Now, if anything below 37,500 would be the in the money option, 37,500 would be the at the money option, 37,800, 38,000 would be deep out of the money option. So now, if you see कि market momentum में और हमें लग रहा है कि Bank Nifty में positive movement आएगा, so what we can do is we can play with Bank Nifty options, the call option. So for example, Bank Nifty is trading at 37,500. We can go for 37,600 call option, that is slightly ATM, or 37,800 option, slightly that is out of the money option. Premium at 300, delta is 0.5. So now suppose if someone has bought 37,600 call option at 300, with that view is कि Bank Nifty यहाँ से 300 से 400 पॉइंट ऊपर जा सकता है. With that view, so he will buy that call option and then he will play with it, buy with that. Now, if we suppose if takes 37,500 at 300 and उसमें buy किया है, so suppose उसका view है कि 37,500 से 38,000 पे बैंक निफ्टी जा सकता है. With that view is keeping that कि 300 में buy किया, he is expecting कि 500 पॉइंट का मूवमेंट आएगा तो बैंक निफ्टी में कम से कम 150 से 200 पॉइंट ऑप्शन में मूवमेंट आ सकता है. Now, the next thing is important is which strike to select. सो ये बहुत लोगों को पता रहता है कि हमें ऑप्शन बाय करना है, बट इंपॉर्टेंट क्या रहता है कि कौन सा स्ट्राइक सिलेक्ट करना है. सो ऑप्शन में इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि हम क्या चूज करते हैं. सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट बेनिफिट ऑप्शन का क्या होता है कि आपका रिस्क जो होता है बाइंग ऑप्शंस में, रिस्क लिमिटेड रहता है एट बाइंग ऑप्शंस, बट ऑल्सो यू हैव टू कीप दैट थिंग में मार्केट में मोमेंटम होना चाहिए. अगर मार्केट में मोमेंटम नहीं है तो ऑप्शन बाइंग करके बेनिफिट नहीं होगा. सेकेंड थिंग इज इट्स ऑल्सो इंपॉर्टेंट आप कितना प्रीमियम पे करके ऑप्शन पे बाय कर रहे हो. ऐसा भी नहीं है कि आप बहुत ज्यादा प्रीमियम पे करके बाय कर रहे हो जिसकी वजह से आपका रिस्क ज्यादा रहे, या तो ऐसा भी नहीं हो कि आप बहुत आउट ऑफ द मनी का ऑप्शन बाय कर रहे हो जिसमें आपको बेनिफिट नहीं मिले. सो एट द मनी और स्लाइटली आउट ऑफ द मनी आप ऑप्शन बाय कर सकते हो. इन दिस दैट वुड बी हेल्पफुल कि अगर बैंक निफ्टी में मूवमेंट आता है, 37,500 चल रहा है, हमारा व्यू है एक 38,000 जा सकते हैं, 38,200 तक जा सकते हैं. तो बाय विद 37,600 कॉल और 37,800 कॉल विद प्रीमियम एट 350. सो डेल्टा 0.5 का मतलब क्या, तो सपोज बैंक निफ्टी में अगर 300 पॉइंट का मूवमेंट आया, आपने जो भाव पे बाय किया तो प्रीमियम कम से कम 150 से 160 रुपए बढ़ेगा. 0.4 मतलब अगर सपोज बैंक निफ्टी में 300 पॉइंट का मूवमेंट आया, सो 0.4 मतलब 120 पॉइंट्स का मूवमेंट इन प्रीमियम आपको पॉजिटिव साइड मिलेगा. सो इन दिस केस वेयर डू दिस विल हेल्प यू टू एनालाइज कि आपको कौन सा प्रीमियम स्ट्राइक बाय करना है बैंक निफ्टी में, एंड अकॉर्डिंगली सो एनी ऑप्शन बायर फॉर बैंक निफ्टी, दिस थिंग यू हैव टू कीप इन माइंड इज स्लाइटली एट द मनी और स्लाइटली आउट ऑफ द मनी हमें कॉल ऑप्शन में बाय करना है. लाइकवाइज पुट में भी अगर सपोज पिछले 5-6 दिन से मंदी हो रही थी और हमने कंटिन्यूसली पुट ऑप्शन बाय दिए थे, सो हमने कौन से ऑप्शन पे प्ले किया, एट द मनी और स्लाइटली आउट ऑफ द मनी ऑप्शंस बाय किए फॉर बाइंग पुट्स. लाइकवाइज फॉर कॉल ऑप्शन ऑल्सो. So we are somewhere where to find delta. So generally this question have arises a lot of time. People ask again and again, but simple, we believe in simple and practical approach in market. Generally a simple tool to help to understand to people is, suppose Bank Nifty is trading at 37,500 and we expect that movement is 500 points from current levels. So generally as per past our analysis, at the money call options move 50% of the Bank Nifty movement. So if Bank Nifty move by 500 points, call option will move by 250 points at the money options. That is 37,500, 37,600. Slightly you move out of the money, 37,700 or 37,800, the delta will be 0.4. जितना आप दूर दूर जाते जाएंगे बाय करने में उतना डेल्टा मतलब तो चेंज प्रीमियम कम होता रहेगा because the probability is low. Now this element is very important for option buyers because if you see over here, it's very important to rotate strikes. So generally this happens So I remember a couple of weeks back only, there was a huge movement in Bank Nifty around 800 to 900 points. And in that case, if you see that, it's very important when you buy options. Suppose you bought 37,600 option and the Bank Nifty moved by 200 points. You bought at 100. Now the option is at 150. You book that strike and then move to next strike. You book 37,600 strike and then you move to 37,700 strike. So again, you bought a call option at 100. Bank Nifty another move by 100 points, 200 points, and that call option increased by 50 points. Then again, you move to the next strike, that is 37,800. So over here, what is important, what we are trying to say is, as the index is moving, it's important to rotate your strike, because the premium that you're paying for the previous strike will be much higher. So as in when the options premium keep on moving, the index keep on moving higher, you have to rotate your strike, because the risk element starts increasing. And options is all about risk management. Suppose you bought it at 100 and the option premium increased by 150. So over here, your profit is 50 rupees. So 100 पे आपने buy किया, 150 पे बेचा, 50 रुपए profit. The next option you bought at 100 again, that moved by 50 points again. 100, it moved to 150, again 50 rupees profit. So total profit is 50 plus 50. So the initial investment that you did of 100 points, that is now totally free. Now whatever you're playing with or you're buying with is the additional strike, which is your profit. So in case, suppose there is any whipsaw movement or sharp swing movement. So last week only, there was a sharp erratic move in Bank Nifty. It made a high of 38,800 and then corrected around 600 points from higher zones. So it's very important to rotate the strike. Likewise for negative trend also, जैसे पिछले वीक में काफी बार हम लोगों ने पुट्स कंटिन्यूअसली रोटेट करते गए. So for example, suppose Bank Nifty open at 37,500, it moved to 37,400, then it moved to 37,300. So as and when the market is moving downwards, you keep on rotating your strike. You play with 37,500 put option, then you book profit, then you move to 37,400 put option, then you book profit, then you move to 37,300 put option. So this way, it will help you to rotate the strike and then make the most of it. So this was mainly talking about the Nifty, Bank Nifty, about the option buyer. Now we'll be moving to the next thing, that is seller. So how when to be option seller? So this is a very interesting question, as Bank Nifty is a very widely tradable instrument and is highly volatile. So sometimes volatility works for sellers because the premiums are high, but at the same time, when there is too much volatility, we suggest that sellers, there's no need for doing naked writing, better to go with strategies. But all in all, if you say out of 12 months, generally 3 to 4 months market are too much trending. But apart from that, 6 to 7 months market is morely stuck in a wider range. So for option sellers, how to select strike? Suppose Bank Nifty is at 38,000. On the right hand side is the call side, whereas on the left hand side is the put side. So if you see, all in all over here, the fire is placed at the center. If you are closer to the range, definitely the premium will be high, but the risk element is very high, as it shows that bonfire, the fire, the heatness will be much higher as closer. But as in when you move deep out of the money, as in if you sell 38,500 or 38,600, so the premiums would be low, but the risk is also low. Likewise, for put side, if you see 37,900, the premiums will be very high, but it is very much close to the spot price. Whereas if you move slightly out of the money, that is 37,600 or 37,500, the premiums would be low, but at the same time, the probability will be high because it is at a considerable distance. So all in all, for option seller, it's very important, with keeping a view in mind, whenever Bank Nifty is stuck in a range between 500 or 700, 800 points, and you know that generally market is likely to be stuck in a range. So for example, the coming week, it's going to be very volatile. So we are not suggesting option selling, as ICICI result outcome will be on Monday. Monday we have Axis Bank result, then Thursday or Friday we have Kotak Bank result, and even SBI result is pending. So majority of the banking stock result is pending, and definitely we can expect a wild swings on the upside or on the downside. So generally, whenever there's a result season or the ahead of budget or any key event, we avoid option selling. But apart from that, if you see, generally number of times that Bank Nifty is stuck in a range, it is stuck between 36,000 to 37,000 or 37,000 to 38,000. That time it's very important you can be an option seller and accordingly play with that. So apart from that, we were discussing of the options buy and seller, as there are a number of events line up in this coming week, and we have budget also and result season also. So we are suggesting looking at the current setup, better instead of naked writing or naked buying, because buying the premiums will be very high as the India VIX is at high. Along with that, naked selling would also not work. So current junction, it's better to go with strategies. View AG ka view hai, better to go with bullish strategies, that's bull call spread or bull call ladder. Whereas on the negative side hai, to better to go with bear put spread. Looking at the current juncture, Nifty and Bank Nifty both are witnessing sharp downside from past 1 week itself. And looking at the chart structure wise also, for Bank Nifty, major level stands out to be 38,000 zones. Till below that, the weakness likely to be there. But on the upside, 38,500, 38,800 is a major resistance zone. Now coming to the third part, that is the derivative indicators. So if we see over here, so far we have been discussing about the technical price action, the chart setup, the resistance, the support, the Bank Nifty components, how each and every bank movement constitutes, make a huge difference to the Bank Nifty index. So over here, if you see, the third interesting aspect is in the derivative indicators. First, we'll be talking about the option chain. So in past also, a lot of people must have heard about this, that we do option chain analysis, call ka data ye hai, put ka data ye hai. So today we'll be doing the dissection and we'll be understanding that option chain analysis is an integral skill to master it, and it definitely helps you. So as a swing trader or intraday trader, if you know what are the key support and resistance level, along with that, how the option writers or the option chain activity is happening. So for example, I'll just go on to the slide of option chain, NSE option chain. So this is the NSE India option chain, the snapshot of NSE option chain Bank Nifty. This is freely available to everyone. So whoever wants to visit this website can easily go on NSE India, India.com option chain analysis. This is the Bank Nifty snapshot, in which on the left hand side is a call side, jo teji ka hai, right hand side is a put side. Left side, if you see right from the extreme left, so if you see on the extreme left side, OI, that is the open interest, followed by that is a change in open interest for the call side. Likewise for the right hand side, put side, the extreme right column is the OI, that is the open interest, followed by change in OI. The third part, it's important, is in the money and at the money. So the yellow part is the in the money options for the call side, and the white part is out of the money for call side. Likewise for the put side, it is exactly opposite, because it said that if call is making money, then the put player is losing money. If the put player is losing money, the call player is making money. So all in all, first in keeping, what you have to see is what is the maximum OI. So over here, if you see in the chart and on the option data analysis, over here 38,000. If you see that right at the center of the table, the strike price, 38,000 is the strike price. And at that level, the maximum open interest at 86,000. So at 38,000 stands to be a crucial technical level also. Along with that 38,000, there are maximum call writers. After that, if you see the next strike stands to be 38,500, right at the bottom of the column, if you see 38,500, along with that second highest open interest, 57,000. Likewise, if you see on the put side, the maximum put interest stands out to be immediately visit 37,500, 37,000. So if you see at the right of the center, 37,000, the strike price, OI is 52,000, followed by 37,500, 45,000. So option data suggests a range between, for the coming week, between 37,000 to 38,500. This data, the probability is high, but that does not mean only this data will work. But this data will help you to understand, okay, if this is a major level, along with the call writers at that, there at 38,000. So this is likely to be at that level, and better to exit your long positions at that zone. Whereas on the downside, it also supports. So for example, if 37,000 is a major support zone also, and if you see there is a maximum put OI. So till 27 Jan, that is the monthly expiry anniversary, easily 37,000 will not be breached. This option data will help you to interpret that. Now coming on to the next thing, next indicator, that is the PCR. So PCR is nothing but the total put option divided by the total call option open interest. So PCR, it's widely used across all the market analysis articles or videos and everything along with everyone's session. So PCR is a very wonderful tool, but it's important how do you analyze it. As per the thumb rule, higher PCR, that is higher put call ratio, indicates that you're not expecting much downside as there is heavy put writing. So the put writing indicates means people are not ready to let the market go downwards, and at the same time put writing indicates that the market is likely to stay above or likely to consolidate. Whereas on the downside, lower PCR ratio, so for example 0.65 to or 0.52, 0.48, 0.56 for 0.8 indicates a lower PCR ratio. That means higher call writing, in which the call writers have an upper hand and they're not likely to let the market to go on the upside, and there is a pressure at higher levels. So currently looking at the chart structure also, the PCR of a Bank Nifty is quite low. That indicates that the call writing activity is intact at higher zones, and this indicates 38,000 is likely to be a stiff level for Bank Nifty on the immediate basis. Now coming on to the third part, there is volatility. So if you see volatility, this is the India VIX. It's known as the greed and fear indicator. So generally India VIX is now trading around at 17.518 levels. Generally for Bank Nifty, the volatility is higher. It's as it's a rate sensitive stock. So generally Nifty is around 17.518. Bank Nifty is around 20 to 21 levels, 20% higher than the Nifty. So that indicates the movement. So higher volatility means higher swings. As we have events coming up, Fed meet, budget, and state elections coming 2 to 3, 4 weeks, definitely the volatility is likely to be higher. That indicates that within the day also, the range could be wide within the Bank Nifty. So if the VIX is high at 23, 24 levels, we can expect a range between 7 to 800 points. So last week, if this is the perfect time, if you can analyze the volatility, last few weeks have been quite volatile. And if you know, past 4 to 5 days is the perfect intraday swings. For if you have got the trend right, definitely you can bet the long or short trades accordingly. But last Friday session was quite volatile. Till 2:45 there was a sharp fall, and just matter of few minutes there was a uptick of 200-300 points. Likewise, in coming 8 to 10 sessions also, the volatile is like the market movement is likely to be volatile, and that would be a key issue. But if you understand in the right way, it would be very much helpful to navigate and gauge the market. Now, the coming on to the key important thing, if you check over here, is the daily snapshot. So along with the discussion that we did so far, discussing about the technical aspect of Bank Nifty, its components, and how the heavyweights movement play an important role. Then we discuss about the when to be an option buyer or an option seller. Then coming to the third part will be what do we discover the indicators. So we discuss about first the option chain analysis, followed by the PCI ratio, then VIX. So VIX also, I would like to emphasize one more thing going forward is in coming budget session, generally in past, as per historical analysis also, as there is any event, the VIX started inching higher from 15 levels to 25, from 15 to 18, 18 to 20, 20 to 22, 22 to 25. So that suggests the more the higher levels of VIX, the sharper the swings will be on either ways. So generally for budget also, we advise better to be in strategies or have a clear view about the supported resistance level, because generally Bank Nifty intraday range is between 300 to 400 points. But as VIX is higher, the range could shift to 700 to 800 points as well. So it's very important to keep VIX, that is a volatility indicator, in mind, and accordingly have a trade guide for the banking instrument. Now coming on to the important thing, so generally as we have discussed about the banking instrument as a whole, so this is a summarized image that we prepare for all our clients, so that will help them to understand, give a detailed analysis, what is the market, what is the major support level, what is the major resistance zone. If you see, check it over here in the Bank Nifty state. So currently this is the for the coming week. Bank Nifty is closed on 37,800. Immediate resistance to be 38,150, then 38,350. Whereas on the downside, the support exists at 37,750, then 37,500 zones. Along with that, if you see over here, the next part of the table shows the derivative indicator. So India VIX is 17.79, whereas Bank Nifty IVs. So IV is nothing but the volatility is 22.81. So IV, that means that there's a possibility of 700 to 800 points intraday swings that could be that we can witness in Bank Nifty itself. So Friday, the previous session was a perfect example how there was sharp movement of around 300 400 points. It's just matter of minutes. So definitely ahead of budget also, the VIX is likely to inch higher and we are going to expect a sharp swing. The third part we discussed over here is the call OI and put OI. So if you see, we have also shown on the option chain analysis snapshot, 38,000 is the major maximum call OI, followed by 42,000 strike. Whereas on the downside, 38,000 on the put side, followed by 37,000. So the wider trading range between 38,500 on the downside to 37,000 likely to be the wider range for Bank Nifty. The third part we discussed the PCI ratio. So the Bank Nifty PCI stands to be 0.74. This indicates that it is a lower PCI ratio that indicates the call writing activity is intact at higher zones. So that will definitely show intense selling pressure at higher zones. Whereas on the downside, support will be seen. But overall, looking at the chart setup wise, the trend is negative bias till it holds below 38,000 zones. Now coming to the next part is the range. So generally a lot of people also do this, especially is very much helpful during the expiry day also. If you want to understand what the range for the market, generally what do is, as it said that premium knows everything. If the premium is low or if premium is high, whatever is the case, it's important that you understand this is the premium. So generally whatever the Bank Nifty is trading. So for example, Bank Nifty is quoting around 37,800. So at the money call option and put option, if you see, at the money call option premium is 474 and at the money put option is 380. So the total combined premium stands out to be 854. So 850 points, generally that is the range on the upside or on the downside on immediate basis. So what does it indicate? दैट अगर बैंक निफ्टी 37,700 पे ट्रेड कर रहा है तो इमीडिएट बेसिस पे अगले 1 से 2 दिन में या तो 800 पॉइंट अपसाइड रेंज है और या ऑन द डाउन साइड 800 पॉइंट नीचे है. सो 1 SG indicates that 37,000 to 38,800 would be the range for Bank Nifty, in which the probability is around 66%. 2 SG indicates a wider range as we multiply 850 into 2 कि 1600 पॉइंट नीचे और या 1600 पॉइंट ऊपर रेंज है, दैट इज 36,200 to 39,600. So this range is very much helpful for the option sellers as they want to know the wider range in which the Bank Nifty is likely to be in a range, in a wider range, but at the expiry it will be settled at between this range. So option seller का काम क्या रहता है? ये रहता है कि उनको प्रीमियम्स ईट करने हैं, बट एट दैट टाइम इट्स इंपॉर्टेंट कि वो मार्केट एक रेंज में रहे, बड़ी रेंज ये हो बट वो रेंज में रहे. तो उनको इंपॉर्टेंट है कि मेजर प्रीमियम के हिसाब से मेजर रेजिस्टेंस जोन क्या है, मेजर सपोर्ट जोन क्या है. अकॉर्डिंगली दिस सेल कॉल एंड पुट इन पेयर एंड अकॉर्डिंगली दे ट्राई टू डू फायर फाइटिंग. If the VIX is very high, we definitely suggest to avoid do option writing. Better to go with strategies or option buying as per the market setup. So this is a daily snapshot that we provide to all our clients. So that is very much helpful. It's like a summary of all the key data points. And once you have this thing at right of the start of the day, it will help you to understand, okay, what are the key things, key levels, what is the VIX, what is PCR moving, what is the at the money call put options, what is the call concentration and put concentration, likewise. So along with this is the next image, that is the option band image. But before that, I just like to take on a few of the queries that are continuously coming onto it. So someone has asked for Reliance. So the thing is, this session is broadly for the Bank Nifty and banking related queries. So definitely we can dwell more about the banking index and talk about banking and banking stocks. Someone is saying Bank Nifty spot price. So Bank Nifty spot price is 37,500, 550 levels. That is the Friday closing. How do you decide 37,000 as a strong support? So if you see as per the chart setup wise, over here, right at the start, if you see at the right at the start, 37,000. So previous, if this is the daily chart, and eventually it was finding support resistance. If you see the green line over here, so the green line indicates initially it was acting as a resistance, and when the resistance was moved, there was a sharp up move by Bank Nifty in the coming days. Whereas now on Friday, it has given a same close near that level. So it's important to see on Monday whether 37,250 is 37,250 or 300 levels is likely to hold or no, or if not, then the next support comes up to 37,000. But on the upside, 38,000 and 38,250 likely to be a strong resistance. Someone has also asked for trading 5 to 10 minutes start will be more better now. So 5 minutes would be very, very short frame. People definitely can do it. It's but advisable would be hourly chart, 30-minute chart, 15-minute chart. These three time frames would be very much good enough to understand the bigger trend for Bank Nifty and likely to do a trade setup. Someone asked if one wants to start with option trading as a beginner, how to start with that. So generally, if one wants to start with option trading, it's important you understand about the basics of options, when to buy an option, when to sell an option, what are the factors that decides the option factors, whether to buy, whether to sell, what is delta, what is gamma, what is theta, and accordingly what are the strategies. So which options, what strategies. So there will be a lot of strategies that would be there, but in a nutshell, it's first important is understand what do you mean by call option, what do you mean by put option. And once you're clear with that, and when you are clear with the market setup, slowly and gradually you can also dwell strategies, because strategy is nothing but a combination of your view. So for example, if you're expecting that market is likely to move up, so you can set up a bull call spread. Whereas if you're expecting the market is likely to go down, so you can set up a bear put spread. So as and when slowly and gradually, when you understand, definitely you can develop into strategies. But for initially level, better to go with understanding of the basic concepts and then slowly gradually move on to the strategies part. So there are a lot of questions. So slowly and gradually we'll again have a discussion in a couple of more minutes. Now coming on to the next part, the later part of the session, that is the option band image. So generally this is the option band image for the Nifty and Bank Nifty writers. This image summarizes what do you show is what is the volatility of the index, along with that the call and put strikes percentage, like 2% from this current spot price, what is the put premium on the, or of the call premium, 2.8%. So likewise, first I'll take it Bank Nifty example. This is the Thursday closing of Bank Nifty, 37,850 levels. So if you see over here, if we take 2.2% away from Bank Nifty current spot price, the next premium for put is 37,000. The premium is 113. Call premium on the upside is 38,800. That is 140. So the total premium combines to be 253. So that is the first case. In this case, there is a 68% probability that market is likely to be between 37,000 to 38,800 levels. In the second case, if we talk about 2.8% probability, that is percentage away from spot, 38,600, 36,800 to 39,000. That is the 79% probability that market is likely to be in a range between 36,800 to 39,000. Not on immediate basis, but till expiry, we are expecting that it is likely to be in between 36,800 to 39,000 levels. And the last case is in which there is a probability of 95%, in which we're expecting 4.5% move on the upside or 4.5% move on the downside. 36,200 premium quotes at 38 and 39,600 premium quotes at 40. So the total premium combines to be 78. So if someone wants to sell Bank Nifty option with the view is that market is likely to be between 36,200 to 39,600, he can get a premium of 78 on either side. With that view is market is likely to be in this range. But this is all about the probability game. Nothing is uncertain, nothing is certain, and definitely changes depending on the market setup. But it is a highly tested tool, back tested of past 4 to 5 years data. And if you see continuously, if you do it on weekly basis, and if there is suppose there is sharp up move or down move, you have to also take losses. But if you do on consistent basis, definitely the option seller will make money, because initially also we have said that the probability is in favor of option seller. But if there is any key event or any huge swings or volatile, avoid doing option writing for that coming week, and then again we can get back to the normal trading zone. This is also one of the key articles that we release on every Thursday for our clients. That is the weekly expiry note, in which there is a detailed view of the Bank Nifty, what is the thought process, what is the view, what is the major resistance zone, what is the support zone, what is the weekly change, the expected immediate trading range. If that is along with that, for option buyers, if the setup is positive, they can go with option buying calls. If the market setup is negative, we can go with buying puts or spreads. Likewise, if someone wants to do writing, so as per the range, we have set up that 37,250 on the downside and 38,250 on the upside. The option writers can sell out of the money call option and out of the money put option with strict stop loss, because option selling and option buying, whatever it is, it's all about your risk management. And the better you manage the risk, there's a higher probability that you will make more money in the market. Also, we also showcase the option data, the maximum call OI activities, if you see on the right side of the table, and maximum put activities, OI, that is 37,000, 36,600 OI data. So this is like a nutshell image that we extensively prepare for the expiry day. Also, it includes the key data, what is the weekly VWAP level for the index, what is the weekly percentage change, and the key support and resistance level. So again, we'll look at the few of the queries that we have. So someone has asked about how do we get option delta on our regular basis. So as also initially also I said that delta, it's very simple thing is whatever. So for suppose if you expect the Bank Nifty is 37,500, you expect the Bank Nifty to move by 300 points or 500 points. Whatever is the up move divided by 50 divided by 2, that is 300 points divided by 2, that is 150. So at the money call option, delta would be 0.5. As and when you move slightly out of the money, the delta will keep reducing because the probability is low. So to keep it simple, at the money call options has 0.5 delta, slightly out of the money has 0.4, deep out of the money has 0.2, and very far out of the money is 0.1. So on the basis of that, definitely one can go with the trading and understand the delta concept. Please tell me what will happen in the Bank Nifty next week as per your technical. So overall, looking at the chart setup, if you see ICICI Bank result outcome will be key decider for Monday session. Look at the chart setup, 37,000 is a support zone. On the upside, 37,750, 38,000. If Bank Nifty manages to hold above 38,000 zone, we can expect a 400, 500 points move on the downside. But looking at the current chart setup, it is likely to be stuck in a range between 37,250 to 38,350 zones. What do you think about the Bank Nifty, where it will trend upside and downside? So as we have rightly said about, it was the bigger weekly trend is positive. However, the last week the trend we have seen a good downside move from 38,800 to 37,700 zone. Coming week is packed by a result season, ICICI Bank, Kotak, Axis. So that would be a key decider for the move on the Bank Nifty. Purely on the chart basis, it has got stuck in a range. On the downside, 37,250 is the immediate support, while on the upside, 38,350 is the immediate resistance. What about IVs and how does it work? So as we discuss IVs, So it said that greed and fear indicator, higher the IVs, that means more volatility, along with that more fear in the market. Generally, it said that higher the VIX, it's a inverse correlation. If the VIX is high, market tends to go down. If VIX is lower, market tends to go higher. So overall, if you see on a nutshell basis, if you have to make a cumulative analysis, there are many events also coming week, Fed meet, budget. So the VIX, that is India volatility, is likely to inch higher. There are two interpretations to it. First, there will be wide swings because the budget is a very key important thing that is likely to be held next week, next to next week. Along with that, there are multiple events that are going across globe. Likewise, if there is stability in the market, VIX has to be lower or cool off. If VIX is higher, upside is capped, and definitely wider swings we are going to see in the market in coming sessions. What is the importance of PCI ratio in understanding market move? So over here, if you see, if PCR is the ratio, that is instrument that you have to track on a daily basis. Generally, if you see from the Bank Nifty perspective, PCR moved between from 0.4 to 0.40 to 1.35, 1.45, 1.55. This is a broader range for PCR ratio. But it's important that if the market is continuously moving up with higher PCR ratio, that means the bulls are holding grip and the put writing is intact. But if market is moving up and PCR is falling, that means the up move is not strong enough and it can correct at any point in time soon. Where are you getting this graph? So this graph, generally the chart that we use is software as a Falcon software. But apart from that, the chart, there are multiple websites, the Chartlink or TradingView or investing.com, in which you can get freely accessible to the charts. And what is important is to analyze the chart in the correct way rather than on the platform. So definitely this platforms is investing.com, TradingView or Chartlink will help you to have a better insight on it. So now coming to the next, coming to the session. So if you see the thumb rules, so this is like the nutshell for any, whether it's a future setup, you're trading longs on the future or buying options or selling options. Very important for Nifty or Bank Nifty execution, whether to go naked buy or naked sell or strategy. For option buyers, it's always said that buy near the strike option. Rule is to buy the option to play the momentum. So initially also we discussed, if Bank Nifty is 37,500, we're expecting 500, 700 points move on the upside, we can go with buying call option. Whereas if you're expecting Bank Nifty to correct on the downside, 37,500, we're expecting 1,000 points correction. So we can go with 37,300 or 37,200 put option. With that view is market is likely to fall and we are going to play with the option. So what is important is it's all about your opportunities, opportunistic. If you buy 2 out of the money call option or put option, the premium will increase, but at a very slower rate, and you're not able to take the benefit of the momentum. At the same time, exactly opposite works for option seller, where with the seller, the objective is to be in the market for maximum amount of time and make the higher probability to make money. So they have to sell deep out of the money call option and put option. With that view is for the coming expiry or till the expiry, the market is likely to be in this range and it is not going to go beyond that range. So it's very important to understand from that perspective for an option seller and accordingly make the most of it. The third thing is at the beginning of the week or month. So better to be with spreads if you're going with the starting. So as the premiums are higher at the start of the week, so it will be expensive directly to buy ATM buying. So you can go with the buying spreads such as bull call spread or bear put spread, in which buying one call spread and selling out of the money call, in which the risk is limited and the reward is also limited. And you don't have tension of time decay, even if the market is stuck in a range. Midweek to month, slightly out of the money option, bull call ladder. So in which, if you see, apart from January, the last series, the December series, the market was quite stuck in range for past 20 December, 30 December, market was stuck in a very tight range. So that time was a good time to be an option seller. At the same time, can initiate multiple strategies that will help them to take the benefit of the same. Near the expiry, buy near the strike. So generally, if you see on the expiry day also, we generally suggest buying at the money call option, or we even go in the money option, because the premiums are low and we expect the momentum is likely to be there, but it's got stuck. As the day is going to expire, the expiry is going to end at the end of the day. So it's all about playing the momentum. So we can go with the at the money call option or at the money put option, or buying in the money call option or in the money put option, depending on the market setup. Or go with ratio spreads, in which you can buy one call option and sell two out of the money call option, or buy one put option, sell two out of the money put option. So again, we'll come on to there are a lot of queries that are happening. So I'll try to answer it as many as possible. What percent return if Bank Nifty remains within range in each case? So depends from option seller perspective. It is very subjective. What kind of risk you are dwelling with. If you are very aggressive, easily 1.5% you can on weekly basis you can generate. But we also have to keep in mind, out of 4 weeks, 1 week is generally we expect a wide swing in the market. So out of 4 weeks, one will definitely go in the negative zone. But apart from that, 3 weeks would be in your zone. So even if you're able to generate 1% return on a weekly basis, that would be quite handsome enough. Explain about how do you calculate confidence band. So confidence band, we have shown that it basically the premiums of at the money strike. So for example, 37,500 is the Bank Nifty, and we're expecting that Bank Nifty is to be in range. So what is the premium of call at the money? For example, 450 is the call premium and 400 is the put premium. So we add 450 plus 400, that is the 850. That is the 850 is the immediate band for Bank Nifty on the downside or on the upside. So in short, we add the premium of at the money call side and put side, and when we subtract from the current spot price. Explain more about OI. So we have also discussed about OI, open interest. So open interest is nothing but basically it's the activities that a market participants are dwelling into the market. So generally, whoever comes in the market, they have a view in the market where that whether the market is likely to go up or whether the market is go down. So overall, open interest is just a summary of all the views of the market participants in which they expect that market is likely to go up or down. So it's like what do you say, a clear fact sheet for the option participants. So higher open interest with a change in price. So for example, if Bank Nifty is moving up and the OI is increasing, that means the longs position are intact in the market and the market is likely to be strong at higher zones. Whereas in the same zone, if suppose Bank Nifty is moving higher, but OI is reducing, that means there's a short covering move. The market, whatever is being done, the longs there are no new longs, but the shorts that have been covered, and that short covering move indicates the Bank Nifty is not likely to hold at higher zones. Currently, if you see from past few days data, there have been continuously falling in Bank Nifty in the price also, and there's long liquidation also. That means those who have position have taken long position, they are exiting in profit and they're booking their profits, or they're exiting losses. So there's no fresh position or shorts, but the long liquidation, that means the OI is also reducing and the price is also falling. So that indicates going forward how the OI activity builds up will be a key thing for the market. So someone asked about where do you see the expiry report. So expiry report is some we generally share it with across with all our clients from our BND group, and also to the respective groups that we have across our various platforms. Someone asks, how do we please provide example of option seller strategy? So option seller strategies, there are multiple strategies that we can dwell with, but simple strategy for option selling is basically with a view that, for example, Bank Nifty or Nifty is trading at certain level, and we have a view that Bank Nifty 39,000 ऊपर नहीं जाएगा और नीचे 36,000 तोड़ेगा नहीं. So with that view that for coming expiry 27 January, Bank Nifty is currently now at 37,500. And we expect it will not go above 39,000 and it will not go below 36,000. So one can sell 39,000 call and 36,000 put in combined premium, and with keeping the double the asset. With that view is कि Thursday तक market is to be in this range and it is not going to go beyond that. So simple strategy, the name of the strategy is short triangle, in which you can sell deep out of the money call and deep out of the money put in pair. Okay, so someone asked very interesting. Once you plot the range for a week, do you do a short strangle? Perfect. How do you set stop loss for the same? So in this case, it's very important. Suppose you have sell the call and put option in combined premium of suppose 80 points. I'm talking about Bank Nifty. As the premiums are high, volatility is high. The call side is 40, put side is 40. And the combined premium you receive is 80. Generally, we set the double the stop loss. 80 ka agar premium inflow hai, we'll keep a stop loss of 160 because it said that either the call will make you problem or either the call put side will make you a problem. So generally the double the SL works in favor of that. Suppose the you sell short strangle and there's sharp downside move, you can start selling call at higher strike more and you can keep shifting put side lower strike. So for the stop loss, double the SL of whatever the premium value that you sold, combine call and put. Then someone asks, what is a ratio spread? So in ratio spread, it's an option strategy in which, for example, Bank Nifty 37,500. Ratio spread first and foremost is very important. Generally, we suggest to do it only on expiry day, not before that, because we have a more grip on that day and the range is narrower and tighter. So we have a high probability in what range the Bank Nifty could close enough. So in ratio spread, we buy one call option. Suppose 37,500, I buy one call option of 37,500 and sell two call option of same strike, 37,600 or 37,000. So in which I buy one call option and sell two call options of the same strike. First and objective is I'm expecting a positive move, but a restricted upside. Along with that, I don't want to pay too much premium. So I reduce the cost of my strategy by setting a ratio spread. How do you decide stop loss in option buying? Perfect. So someone asked a very interesting question. So this depends upon your risk appetite. So for example, in Bank Nifty, suppose someone has bought 37,500 call option at 200. Now your view is that I want to earn suppose 100 points. So definitely your stop loss should not be more than 60 to 70 points. So stop loss is a very relative term, and that depends from person to person. But in a nutshell, it is said that it's very important whatever amount you are able to lose. It's important you make sure you don't lose a very big amount out of proportion that you cannot recover it. So for example, if you want to make a profit of 50 points, so your stop loss should not be more than 20 to 25 points. In Bank Nifty, if you want to make a gain of 100 or 150 points, your stop loss should not be more than 40 to 50 points. Range of wicks lower and higher. So generally the wicks range is quite wider. On the downside, the range is around 15 to 16, whereas on the upside, currently is quoting at 22 levels. On the upside, it can shoot up to 25, 28. So generally, as per past historical analysis also, till budget, the range can inch higher towards 27, 28 levels. RNZ and Bollinger Bands can be used. So now again, we'll move to the session, just concluding the last part, and then we'll again get to the Q&A. So the checklist first is important. Plan your trade. It's very important. What is your setup? What is your thought process? Time frame of trading. So as we discuss about the swing trading within the banking space, we have to look at the weekly chart, followed by the daily chart, followed by the hourly chart, and then shorter time frame, that is 30 minutes and 50 minutes. Accordingly, try to set the resistance and the support zone, and try to mark the key buying area and key resistance selling area. And accordingly, try to do trading. Third, technical analysis. As it said that it's important that price action is everything. And it's very important to understand what is the major resistance or major support zone for the index. Fourth thing is money management. So right at the start of the session also, we had a discussion which said that it's important that risk is in your hand, reward is up to the market. It's very important that you manage risk efficiently. And if you can manage it consistently, definitely the rewards would be small, but it would be slowly and gradually able to build a good corpus over the time, because what matters in market is consistency. Backtest your strategy. So as we have dwelled mainly about the Bank Nifty and the banking stocks and these strategies, whichever strategy that you have been doing or understanding, try to keep doing on repetitive basis and try to understand what went wrong or what went right along with the market movement. The second part is maintain a trading journal. So it's very important that you have a discipline and the to-do list, whatever the trades or whatever trading you are expecting or you're likely to do. Keep a record of it. If the trade went right, so what was the thought process behind it? If the trade went wrong, what is the thought process behind it and what went wrong against it? So it's also said that take calculated risk in market, because calculated risk has to be taken, whether it's on the upside or on the downside. But it's important that when I win big, and when I lose, I don't lose much. So that's very important. And so overall, coming into the session that we have a detailed discussion. We also have thank you for your active participation. We also have a program EDUMO PRO, in which that's a learning pro software program, in which that will be a detailed course offered for viewers. Advanced course on option strategies by Smita Parekh, as well as advanced course on technical analysis by Manisha. So this too will definitely help you provide a much detailed insights about the program. And to know more about this, can definitely have contact on this number. Apart from that, those who have the link for the same will be shared. For the Zoom link can be shared in the chat box. Apart from that, and for the YouTube, there's a description tool in which that can be used for. So there are a lot of Q&A that are keep coming up, but it's not possible to discuss all, but I'll try to answer it as many as possible. What is hero zero call put? So generally hero zero call put is we generally play on expiry day, in which with the view is last 35-40 minutes, we're expecting that either the market swing could be 100 points or 150 points on the upside or on the downside. So in which you buy a call option or put option, with that view is whether that call option or put option will likely to be zero, or that option is likely to be double. So generally this is expiry day trade. Is option strike price chart available? Option strike price chart available is on softwares, not on daily websites. So there are special dedicated softwares such as Falcon or different softwares that are dedicated for option strikes. But apart from that, the daily price action you can easily get on investing.com or TradingView. Can we expect a bounce back in the coming week in banking stock with the result? So definitely that is a question that is everyone is looking for. That depends upon how the numbers the banking come with, and how does the market reward them in that particular fashion. What is the premium shrink? So this is a very important question. Generally, when you are an option buyer, and if you think there is no movement, this momentum has stuck in the market. So if you see, as in market premium, the days keep on going in the market, expiry approaches, the premium that you bought, for example, have 250. If market is stuck in a range, that 250 will decay to 220, the 220 will decay to 180. So premium shrink is nothing but the time decay factor that works against for the option buyer. At the same time, this means the favorable thing for option seller, because option seller is trying to get the premium benefit, whereas for option buyer, that is the negative aspect. What is the market correction? Correction means generally when there's a downside move, a bearishness, and everyone and the price is falling on daily basis, that expects what is market, that means by correction. Can we have an IV and delta display for each contract? So generally, if you see over here, the IVs are mentioned at the option chain. So if you anyone log in for NSE India option chain website, easily the IVs are available over there. Delta, as we have already discussed, it can be easily calculated by dividing it by the so at the money strike for Bank Nifty and Nifty, it's 0.5. As you keep moving higher, the delta reduces 0.4, 0.3, 0.2. And if you keep going in the money, the delta increases 0.6, 0.7, 0.8. Should we see the chart of Bank Nifty or Bank Nifty strike price? So basically, it's important first you see the chart of Bank Nifty. If you know what is the chart the Bank Nifty looks like, then you accordingly see the strike price of call side and put side to have a better understanding of the market movement. Is it a right time to buy banking stocks now for a long term? If yes or no? So generally, if you see from the banking stock, the two outperformers has been ICICI Bank and SBI. If you are looking from an investment perspective of 6 months to 1 year, definitely one can go with ICICI Bank and SBI from current levels. What is call writing? So call writing is nothing but we are selling a call with that view is that market is likely to be on the positive side, but it's not going to cross that level. So for example, if 38,000 call writing is maximum, that means market participants expecting that Bank Nifty is not likely to surpass above 38,000 till the expiry. How do you get the volatility of Bank Nifty? So how do you, Bank Nifty is generally, as per calculations, 20% higher of India VIX, that is volatility of Nifty. So currently Bank Nifty volatility is 22. It is not easily available on any platform, but if for easy calculation, whatever is the VIX, that is India VIX currently trading around 18, 17.5, 18 levels, you can add a 20% of that, that is comes out to be 3.2. So around 21 to 22 levels, the volatility for Bank Nifty. So if India VIX is 20, so the volatility for Bank Nifty will be 24. Any limit range for put? So put call ratio generally, as we have discussed earlier, so it's a wider range between 0.45 to upside on the 1.45 to 1.50. That's a wider range for Bank Nifty PCR. But it's important, how do we understand the PCR, and along with that, track along with it. Why can't we buy deep? So deep for the option buyers, it's important to play the market momentum. If you buy deep out of the money, definitely the premiums would be low. The risk is also low, but we're not able to take the benefit of the market movement, because if the market moves, but the deep out of the money, the premium will not move because the momentum is not that fast. So you, in spite of you being on the right side, you will not make money. So there are a lot of questions that are keep on coming on, but I'll try to answer more 5 to 7 questions. Yeah, so Nifty Bank Nifty ko hedging kar sakte hai, same IV. So this thing is generally depends upon the IVs, and generally in past 1.5 years, if you have seen, Bank Nifty has grossly underperformed Nifty. Nifty is at all-time high of hit an all-time high of 18,600 levels. Previous all-time high before COVID was 12,000 level. Bank Nifty previous all-time high was 32,000. It has just hit a high of 41,000. So it is grossly underperforming. Currently, it will not be that easy to hedge it against. How heavyweight can be determined? So heavyweight can be determined. So generally we have this thing circular in which the heavyweight stocks for Nifty and Bank Nifty are determined as per the SEBI, as per the circular, and their weightage is mentioned. So we don't need to dwell into the calculation. What is important is what is there in the circular as per the weightage. And we also discuss how this 5 stocks, that is SDFC, ICICI, SBI, Kotak, and Axis, plays an important role for Bank Nifty movement. Is it good to average out in option trading? So when you're going option buying, generally as per thumb rule, it's always not advisable to do option averaging, because buying is option buying is all about momentum. So if the momentum is there, better to play with it. If there is not, exit it. If there's again momentum, try to re-enter the trade and good. So it's not advisable to do average in option trading. First 15 minutes can be traded on Bank Nifty or not. So generally it's said that as per the professionals or the experts, we definitely should give 15 to 20 minutes in the market setup to set it, and oppose that we should take a trade. But it's also important, what is the bigger time frame chart, keeping that thing in mind, you have to always trade setup accordingly. So past 4 to 5 days, market opened positive, slightly negative, but was not able to hold at high levels, and slowly gradually started moving lower. So initially 15 minutes you should wait, and then from 9:35, 9:40 onward, you can start your trade setup. So just last 3 to 4 questions we can discuss with. Bank Nifty will be bearish below 37,250. Yes. So if Bank Nifty fails to hold about 37,250, we can another expect a 500, 700 points dip on the downside for Bank Nifty, definitely. But so far it is important support zone. So likely Monday likely to be a crucial day, whether this level likely to be hold or not. Price action was the option which can be preferable. So both is important. Price action is the most primary important instrument for any Bank Nifty analysis. Price action is the crucial, followed by option data, because it is said that on basis of price, the option data is dead. So on basis of technical analysis, derivative analysis based upon. It's not the other way around. So whatever is the price action, that needs to be monitored closely. Accordingly, you have to go through the option chain analysis. So one last question. If I have capital of this amount for trading Bank Nifty option for intraday, how should I plan? So we have already discussed about to plan that. First, you have to look at the weekly setup. You have to see the daily setup. You have to see the hourly setup. You have to see the shorter time frame setup. Along with that, you have to see the heavyweights movement, any key events that is going to be the any result season or any key events, or RBI policy or monetary policy or US key thing, and accordingly that would be sufficient. Yeah. So the option for buying Nifty options, the amount would be sufficient, but it's important that you trade it wisely and keep your risk management intact. So one last question. Price action or option chain, which can, so we have already discussed price action or versus option chain. Price action is the most important thing, followed by option chain analysis. Both in tandem understanding will definitely give you a good understanding about the overall technical as well as the derivative aspect. So overall, that would be helpful for you guys. Yeah, so sometimes the Bank Nifty made a hammer. So if you see the daily chart, it has made a small doji candle. So that doji candle indicates indecisiveness. The coming session, that is Monday, would be a key decider whether it able to hold above 37,750 levels or whether it breaches 37,250 levels on the downside. So with this, we would like to conclude the session. Once again, I just like to remind EDUMO PRO. EDUMO is a platform in which that would be a detailed understanding for the same. And advanced course on option strategies will be conducted by Smita Parekh, and advanced course on technical analysis will be conducted by Manish Parekh. So fine in tune, and to know about, kindly give us the call on the respective number that has been shown. So thank you all for this wonderful session. And with this, we would like to conclude the session.
Thank you very much, Arpit Beriwal. That was a great session. I hope everybody liked that session. Personally speaking, I have liked that session very much. Right, it is a great experience learning all these complex topics from Mr. Arpit Beriwal, who is an experienced derivative analyst from Motilal Oswal research team. Right, as already mentioned by Mr. Arpit Beriwal, what we see is you all are very much interested in learning things. Right, that's why you all are attending this session. Right, learning the market concepts. So again, as already said by Mr. Arpit Beriwal, we have a new product which has been launched right now. It's a knowledge-based initiative of Motilal Oswal Finvest Limited, which is EDUMO PRO. That is education@motilaloswal.com. So there are 3 courses which are provided under this brand. That is advanced course on stock market trading and investing, advanced course on option strategies, advanced course on technical analysis. So if you are interested to learn more and you specifically want a subscription-based, knowledge-based product, which will help you. So there are many people in the market. What I feel is they directly don't want to trade or directly don't want to invest, but they want to learn first. So we have seen this need rising in the last few years and even in the last few months, that people are very much interested in learning. So this is a actual product that you can actually subscribe for. If you want to know more information about this, so give us a missed call on 022-4168-0827. Now, this session, now when I was seeing the chats, I was also seeing a lot of people asking that whether I'll get the recording of this particular session, whether I'll get the any kind of recordings. So this session is also live streaming on YouTube. So after this session ends, yes, you can go to the Motilal Oswal Financial Services official YouTube channel and you can re-attend the sessions anytime when you want. Okay. So those who are seeing from YouTube, if you go to the description section of your YouTube, you will be seeing a small demo video regarding EDUMO PRO. So might be before giving a missed call, you can just take a screenshot of this particular page that I'm showing you, particular slide. So might be before giving a missed call, you can just take a screenshot of this, and before actually giving a missed call, what you can do is you can refer that demo video from the YouTube description section. Now, those who are joined with us via Zoom, kindly check your chat boxes. I have shared the demo video link in the chat box as well. Okay, regarding EDUMO PRO. Okay, so I think everybody has received that link in the chat box. Just give me yes or no. Okay. So that was a great session, Mr. Arpit Beriwal. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
This evening. Thank you and have a nice time. And every one of you, have a nice time and have a happy weekend. Happy trading, happy investing. Bye.
Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all, joining us.